सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरः देवाय तस्मै। श्लोक नंबर 7। अथ दशमोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः। अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवः मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः मच्चित्ता मद्गतः प्राणाः बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च। So we are studying the 10th chapter, which is called Vibhuti Yoga. The chapter which is describing the glories of Ishvara, so that finally we can appreciate everything is Ishvara. And he presented the glories at the subtle level and gross level very briefly. And Bhagavan said, if a person is able to appreciate everything is Ishvara, then person will be able to understand that Ishvara I. So Vibhuti Jnanam, the knowledge of Ishvara being there everywhere, will lead to the final knowledge that I am Brahma. So Saguna Brahma Jnanam will lead to Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. That idea is being conveyed in these verses, and that conversion can happen only if a person has got bhakti to this Vishwarupa Ishvara, the Ishvara who is in the cosmic form. And that bhakti of those Vishwarupa Bhakta, the devotees to cosmic Ishvara, is presented in the 9th shloka we were saying. Machittaha. Their mind is on me. And Madgata Pranaha. Their all activities are centered on me. When you love someone, that happens naturally. That all your thoughts will be revolving around that person, and your activities also will be revolving centered on that person. Parasparam bodhayantaha. So they will be sharing the understanding, the ideas regarding Ishvara with their co-students, with their follows, the sadhakas, fellow sadhakas, and kathayantascha mam nityam. And whenever there is an opportunity to share with those who are not knowing about Ishvara's vibhuti, they are very happily doing it. And in this process, they are nityam tushyanti. They are ever satisfied. They are not feeling any boredom. Not only tushyanti, ramanti cha. They are reveling in that. They are happy. They don't, if you ask them, how are you? They don't say, okay, pulling on. That is not their expression. We are very happy being devoted to Bhagavan. And that is the idea, Ramanti. In fact, that is the indicator of one's bhakti. If person has got more and more intense bhakti, he will be happy with the devotional activities. When you love someone, then anything you do, you will be doing it very lovingly and you will be doing very enthusiastically. So generally, if you have to stay back, stay awake, then it is a matter of complaint. But when you are staying awake for someone whom you love, you like, then it is not a matter of complaint. You do it very happily. Similarly, all the activities are coming out of devotion. Therefore, Ramanticha. So that is the indicator. The Ramanam, being happy, being delighted, is the indicator of their intense bhakti. So when they do what they are supposed to do, what does Bhagavan do? That is said in the next sloka. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. So Bhagavan says, Tesham, for them who are Satata Yuktanam, they are ever committed to me, and Bhajatam, worshipping me. How? Priti Purvakam, with love. So devotional activity is not a burden for them, they are doing with love. Whatever devotional activity, Smaranam Kirtanam Vishnoho, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakhyam, whatever form of devotion they have, in each form they have Priti. With regard to every activity, they have love. And so Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, they are worshipping me with love. So there is no question that how long I have to worship Bhagavan, how long I have to be devoted. That question is not there. Like you don't, if you like some meal, then you don't ask question that how many days I have to eat Rasagulla. Yeah, today you eat, tomorrow also eat, whenever you get chance to eat. So when you like something, you don't ask this question, how long? And so, Priti Purvakam Bhajatam. And to such people, Buddhi Yogam Dadami. I grant the association with the right understanding, the ultimate understanding. What is that understanding? All that is here is Paramatma, that Paramatma I. I am not separate from that Paramatma. That is called Buddhi Yoga. And this Buddhi Yogam Dadami, we have to understand it carefully. Because we may think that Bhagavan will send some packet of this Jnanam. One day packet will come like Amazon, no? So nowadays, see, so many packets come. So similarly, one day packet from Ishvara comes. On the top it is written Buddhi Yoga. Sender Bhagwan from Vaikuntha. So like that, we need not expect. When Bhagavan says, I grant Buddhi Yoga, means I provide the infrastructure for getting Jnana Yoga. Like somebody said that I will get you visa, means what? I will help you in getting visa. Person alone has to go through the process. The visa office is person alone has to go. The form filling etc. person has to sign. But person is helped by this agent. Similarly, Bhagavan says, I grant Buddhi Yoga, means I provide the Guru. Really, this is an important thing to be remembered, that you cannot select your Guru. You cannot choose. Okay, I will put an advertisement in the newspaper, wanted Guru, Shrotriya Brahmanishta. Apply, appropriate Guru Dakshina will be given. Suppose you write this. Then that time you cannot get Guru. Even if you get, you will not get real Guru. So Guru is always sent by the Lord. Appropriate Guru at appropriate time. So Bhagavan is giving Buddhi Yoga, means Bhagavan is providing us Guru. Either he will send Guru or he himself will come as a Guru. Like principal in the school, he will send the teacher, or sometimes teacher is not available, he himself will take the class. He does that. So similarly, Bhagavan does that. So sometimes most of the time he sends the Guru. But in case in certain situation is required, then Bhagavan himself manifests as the Guru. So that is the meaning of Buddhi Yogam Dada. And what is the significance of this Buddhi Yoga? Yena Mam Upayanti Te. By this vision, Buddhi Yoga, by the association, the attainment of knowledge, they attain me. So attainment of Paramatma is by knowing Paramatma. And knowledge also is provided by Guru, by Paramatma through Guru. And therefore, Bhagavan says, you do your part, I will do my part. So we want Bhagavan to do everything for us. So that particular laziness one has to drop. I keep being engaged in the Vishwarupa Bhakti, in the Vibhuti Darshanam, then Bhagavan does what he has to do. Bhagavan will grant Buddhi Yoga, by which we attain Paramatma. Somebody will say, what will happen if you attain Paramatma? When you attain Paramatma, then nothing remains to be attained. Because Paramatma is limitless. And all activities you are doing only for getting that limitless. So your journey of attaining this or that, all your purusharthas will end. And that is what is called moksha. So attaining Paramatma is equal to attaining moksha. But every now and then we should ask, do I really want moksha or I want something else? If Bhagavan appears in front of you, what do you want, my dear devotee? So what will be your answer? So generally people will say, I will ask for my son's marriage. But son getting married is a difficult thing. Son also, earlier daughter getting married was difficult. Nowadays sons also getting married very difficult. Or not getting job, not getting the visa for the US after Trump has come. So that's what I want. People don't want moksha. People want this. So when Bhagavan appears, what will I ask? Some people, they are very smart. He says, Swamiji, moksha can wait. Anyway, moksha can be attained any time. These things cannot wait. So I will ask for all these things. And then moksha is little away. But we are talking about those people who have already seen the limitations of dharma, artha and kama, and who are seeking moksha. For them, the Buddhi Yoga is provided, and which gives the Paramatma, which makes the person attain Paramatma, which is moksha. Now in the next shloka, Bhagavan is telling that how this getting this jnanam helps the person to be free from samsara, bondage. How it happens, that is said in the next shloka. Teshamevanukampartham ahamajnanajam tamaha नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. So Bhagavan, he says, what I do is, I remove the delusion caused by Ajnana. What all delusion we have? One delusion we have, that the world will make me one day happy, fulfilled. That is one delusion. People think that Swamiji, if my son becomes alright, or my daughter becomes alright, or my spouse becomes alright, then I have nothing to ask. They say like this. It means that if my spouse, son, daughter, neighbor, if he becomes alright, I will become complete, fulfilled. That is what people think. That is one delusion. That something in the world will make me fulfilled. That is one delusion. Shobhana Dhyasa. Another delusion is, I consider myself to be as good as this body. And therefore, I feel I am born, I am going to die. And people don't remember my birthday, I feel hurt. Because I remember his birthday, he doesn't remember my birthday. So it means that I consider myself to be as good as the body. And body's health becomes issue because my health issue. And body's age is my age. Body's youth is my youth. Body's old age is my old age. And therefore there are so many complexes based on that. That is another moha, which is called here tamaha. Tamaha means darkness, delusion. Third delusion is, I am as good as the mind is. Therefore, if mind is disturbed, I am disturbed. Mind is little bit okay, I am okay. So all these are called tamaha. That Bhagavan says, nashayami. I destroy this delusion, which is ajnanajam, born of ignorance. When I do not know what really I am, then I will consider something else to be myself. Any delusion is caused by ignorance of it. Any mistake is what? Missing the fact and taking something else to be the fact. That is called mistake. So you miss the fact, then only you will take something else as the fact. So any delusion, any wrong understanding is because of not having right understanding. Therefore, ajnanajam tamaha nashayami. How? Atma bhavasthaha. Remaining in the thought of the mind. Here one particular technical point is given, that Paramatma, who is consciousness, is available in every thought and is available in Brahmajnanam also. So Brahmajnanam is called what? Akhandakara vritti, Brahmakara vritti. In that thought, Paramatma is available, illumining the thought, enlivening the thought, making the thought efficient. And that Paramatma who is available, enlivening the thought, making the thought efficient, that Paramatma is destroying Ajnana. So here one Vedanta Siddhanta is suggested, and that is, consciousness as such does not remove the ignorance. Consciousness by itself does not remove the ignorance. If consciousness itself can remove the ignorance, then ignorance would have been removed long time ago. But the very fact that ignorance and ignorance-born conclusion continues means consciousness as such does not remove. But consciousness which is manifesting through a particular vritti, particular thought, which is called Brahmakara vritti, that consciousness which is manifesting through Brahmakara vritti, that alone can remove the ignorance of this Brahman, ignorance of the sun. And for that we generally give the example that sunlight by itself does not burn a piece of paper, but sunlight which is passing through the magnifying glass can burn the piece of paper. Similarly, consciousness as such does not remove the ignorance. Consciousness manifesting through the particular buddhi is destroying the ignorance. So that is said here, Atma Bhavastaha. So Paramatma who is obtaining in the Atma Bhava, the vritti of the mind, particular vritti of the mind, that Paramatma removes the delusion. And how does he do that? Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. Bhasvata means shining, brilliant. Jnana Deepa means the lamp of knowledge. And here Jnanam refers to the Vrittik Jnanam, the knowledge in the form of this Aham Brahmasmi thought. By that knowledge, I destroy the delusion born of ignorance. So here Jnana Deepa is talked about. Therefore Shankaracharya says, the Jnana Deepa, the lamp of knowledge by which the delusion is destroyed. That lamp of knowledge requires some ghee, some oil. What is that oil? Bhakti Prasada Snehabhishiktena. So in one's life, there needs to be some devotion. If devotion for Paramatma is there, then only this, by the grace of Paramatma, this ignorance and delusion will be removed. People generally think that the pursuit of Vedanta is a dry pursuit. It is not. If it is a dry pursuit, then something is wrong. So, bhakti is required for Jnanam to come and be effective in our life. Another thing is, for this Jnana Deepa, there will be a body of the lamp. That body of the lamp is Virakta Antahkarana. The mind which is free from the passion, the mind which is free from attachment, that mind alone can have this Jnana Deepa. So all of them, all these things are required, then only this Jnana Deepa will be bright enough to destroy the delusion. And what is that Jnana Deepa? Aham Brahmasmi. That Jnanam, Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam will destroy the ignorance and ignorance born conclusion. What is the conclusion? I am the body, I am the mind, I am the organs. The world is going to make me happy. The world is a threat for me, or the world is a source of joy, happiness. All this moha will be destroyed by this Jnana Deepa. And Bhagavan says, I do all this. What is the commission I get out of this? Bhagavan said, no commission. Tesham eva anukampartham. Only out of compassion, this Paramatma Ishvara does that. So Ishvara doesn't have any what is called selfish motivation for getting any benefit from Jiva. Generally, Jiva thinks that Bhagavan is sending us problems because Bhagavan wants us to worship Him. That's what the childish thinking is. One person told me that's in Bangalore. He said, Swamiji, Bhagavan also is like this. He keeps on sending the problem so that we'll worship Him. So is that Bhagavan and your uncle no difference. Because your uncle also, if you don't praise him, then he doesn't supply you something and he creates problem. Earlier you were praising him, so he was helping you, and now you don't praise. Or you say something, then uncle gets angry and he harms you. Or he doesn't help you. So Bhagavan is not like uncle. So Ishvara is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. He is ever free. He doesn't have any this self-inferiority complex. When you have inferiority complex, you want praise from others. You want recognition from others. You want validation from others. Somebody should come and tell you, you are doing well. Children want that. The children have got the complex that I am no good. Therefore, whenever child does that something, child thinks that is something great, he looks at the mother. She looks at the mother. And she wants the gesture of recognition. Yes, you did a very good, great thing. The child wants that. Otherwise, child feels that I am no good. I thought I am no good, and it is confirmed. See, mother did not validate what achievement I had. See, child might have done a small thing. It just crossed some small partition. So child thought he did a big thing. So similarly, anybody when has got inferiority complex, then that person will seek recognition from others. When you do not accept yourself to be what you are, you always seek recognition, praise, validation from others. When you are highly confident about yourself, you are completely acceptable to yourself, you don't seek any recognition. So Ishvara does not have complex. But what happens? Generally, we superimpose our own likes and dislikes on Ishvara. Like I like laddu, so I said Bhagavan likes laddu. I like pulyogarai, so I said Vishnu likes pulyogarai. I don't think any Purana it is written that this Vishnu likes pulyogarai. But it's okay, we like superimpose our likes and dislikes. It's okay. But we go to the extent of saying that Bhagavan is angry because I did not worship. Never have that complex. If you worship Bhagavan, it is good. But if you don't worship Bhagavan, he will not be angry. We need not be such God-fearing people. They call it God-fearing. You need not be afraid of God. Our God is not that frightening God or jealous God. In other religions, they say our God is a jealous God. Our Bhagavan is not jealous. Because jealousy is a sign of emotional immaturity. Jealousy is the sign of inferiority complex. You have jealousy, why? Because you are not able to accept yourself. So Ishvara doesn't have that problem. Therefore, if you worship, you are blessed. If you are not worshipped, then you will not get the benefit of that worship. That's it. It is something like if you go outside in the sunlight, you will get sunlight, you get the warmth. If you don't go outside, then sun is not going to be angry with you. You don't get the warmth, that's it. So never have such idea that Bhagavan is angry with me because I did not do Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama. People have this. Those who are used to do Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, and one day they could not do, they think that today everything will go wrong. Or see, this happened. Why? Because I did not do Lalita Sahasranama. It is not like that. So never have fear of God. We worship God, and if at all you want to have fear, you have fear of doing wrong things. Because if you do wrong things, then one has to pay for it. And that we say that is a punishment of God. Really, it is not a punishment from God. It is a punishment by your own karma. So, as I read something nicely, he said, you are not punished for this wrongdoing. You are punished by wrongdoing. Means the wrongdoing itself will pinch you. And finally it will give papam also. And therefore we are not afraid of Ishvara. We need not be afraid of Ishvara. We can be in harmony with Ishvara. That is the relationship with Ishvara. So here Anukampartham. Anukampartham means out of compassion, Bhagavan is destroying the Ajnanam. In fact, this is the highest blessing of Bhagavan. highest blessing of Bhagavan that he gives me the knowledge and remove my delusion. That is the highest blessing, and that Bhagavan gives when I deserve it by Vishwarupa Bhakti. And when Vishwarupa Bhakti is there, worshipping the Lord as a cosmic being, then person becomes free from delusion about oneself, about the Lord, and about the world. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bhranti goes away. So with this, Bhagavan has completed his Upadesha. Now Arjuna wants to request Bhagavan to elaborate his Vibhuti. Elaborate on the glories Bhagavan has. He wants a big list. Because Bhagavan only told that if you appreciate my glories everywhere, then you will be blessed with the final vision, final knowledge. So he is requesting from the next sloka, 12th sloka, to elaborate. From this we learn one principle of communication. Whenever you communicate in a brief manner. And when a person is interested in knowing more, then only you give. Like in serving also we say that you give the moderate quantity. If they want more, they will come and give. They will give. Otherwise there will be a food waste. Similarly, if you oversupply, then the value will come down. Therefore, Bhagavan always gives in brief first. If Arjuna requests, Bhagavan allows. So whenever somebody asks you, how are you? You should say what? Fine, good, well, doing well. Don't start your story that in 1975 I was born and that time when I was small I was very healthy. Then after this happened in 1995 and afterwards 5 years I recovered and again I fell sick and all this. He did not tell. When somebody asks you question, how are you? Say fine. Where did you go during the vacation? You say Delhi, Rishikesh or wherever you went. You don't have to tell the details of the travel. Oh, this vacation I wanted to go to Switzerland, but the tickets were very, very expensive and the war situation came and therefore I planned to go to South India. That also did not work out. Then I went to this Haridwar, Rishikesh and I wanted to go to Badrinath. All this you need not tell. Simply you tell what I went to Rishikesh. That's all. If that person asks you further, how was your trip? That was it your original plan? Then you give the detail. So this is a very important principle in communication with anybody. Some people have this problem, they cannot keep their mouth shut. They come to see even Swamiji and they are supposed to do some satsang with Swamiji. And they don't allow Swamiji to speak. And at the end of 20 minutes, he says, Swamiji, I had a nice satsang with you. So this is something people do not understand, that when we go to Mahatma, we should let that Mahatma speak. We can definitely speak where what Mahatma asks, we can answer, and we can ask some questions and then learn from him or her. So when you go to Mahatma, our approach should be what? More listening than talking. Some people I have seen, they only go to talk, not listen. So that is because they have got this pressure. So Bhagavan says, by his way of communication, supply less. You supply your words in minimum quantity. And then if there is a demand, supply more. So that's what Bhagavan did. He very briefly presented. Now Arjuna is asking for elaboration from the next sloka. Arjuna uvacha param brahma parandhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam आदिदेवमजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वां ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा असितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे. So from the 12th sloka up to the 18th sloka, it is Arjuna's words. And Arjuna wants to request Bhagavan to elaborate the glories which he had presented. But in our tradition, one particular method is followed, that is called the method of Namakam and Chamakam. Namakam and Chamakam is what? Before you request for something, you glorify the donor, glorify the giver, glorify the teacher. Why do we glorify the teacher before requesting for further teaching? To show that I value your teaching. Because if teacher feels that the student doesn't have value, he is looking here and there, then the teacher will not have motivation. Because teacher is not teaching. Vedanta teacher is not teaching for getting some money or something. He is teaching out of joy, he is teaching out of compassion. And therefore, it is the duty of the student to express his or her value for the teaching. And therefore, firstly, student is glorifying the teacher, expressing his Shraddha, and then requesting, "Oh Lord, please teach me about Vibhuti Path." That is called Namakam in the Rudram 12th. Namaha, Namaste, Namaste Astu Bhagavan. So all Namaskara is done first. And then we say, Shancha me, Priyascha me, Nukamascha me. So, Chame you can do after Nama. So first we offer Namaskara, offer our what is called the expression of gratitude, and then we request for further teaching. And that is what Arjuna is doing. The details we'll see the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnamida Om Shanti Shanti